Really? You have to mow my lawn now when I'm trying to do a review for the Rough Cuts? Is that how it is? Oh, hey guys, what's going on? It's Tom, it's Wednesday, new movie review, let's do it. Now last week I reviewed a more mainstream movie. Now this week I'm going to step out of that mainstream realm and I'm going to review an indie of sorts. And the film I'm going to review for you guys today is the film Bronson, starring Tom Hardy. Now who is Tom Hardy? Well, if you saw Inception, which I guarantee a good deal of you have, Hardy played Eames, aka the Forger in the movie. You know, the dude who could transform into incredibly hot chicks? That dude. And in this film, he plays Charles Bronson, or Michael Peterson. Michael Peterson was just a normal lad, you know, he came from a middle-class family, had a job to try to support himself, and then one day gets mixed up with the wrong people and he tries to rob a post office. Insert cheesy joke here, and he gets sentenced to 7 years in prison, which eventually becomes a 34-year stint, 30 of which were spent in solitary confinement. Whereas alter ego, Charles Bronson, pretty much takes over his personality, as well as the film itself. Now the thing you really need to focus on in this movie is Tom Hardy's performance, because it is absolutely incredible. Hardy not just brilliantly portrays his character, he becomes this character. I mean, he has such an intimidating presence on screen, not just because he's jacked out of his mind, but because at any moment he can just snap and kick your ass. And also, his performance is so unpredictable. I mean, you have no idea what he's going to do next, and it's just a very entertaining and darkly humorous portrayal. Now, though Hardy's performance definitely takes over the movie, the other performance that I really enjoyed in it is from Matt King, who plays a gay fellow prisoner of Bronson's, and he becomes his boxing coach of sorts. He really delivers a pretty funny performance, I have to say, and I really enjoyed it. Bless me. Sorry about that. Now, this film is directed by Nicholas Winding Refn. I have to say, he has a really unique visual style. I mean, in the wrong hands, this movie could be a lifeless bore, even if it did have Hardy's amazing performance. I mean, he definitely takes some creative risks that could really make the movie suffer. For example, the way the story is told. There's times where Bronson just talks to the camera about his life. There's times where, in his mind, he puts on a show for an audience about his life. I mean, these creative risks really pay off, and they kind of add to that ambition that the movie has going for it. That said, I found that very satisfying. Now, I will say, this movie does have some problems, I have to say. Pacing is definitely a big problem in this film. I mean, this movie's only an hour and 32 minutes, but it feels a lot longer than that, which was a big problem for me. And also, I think a lot of people have been saying this who have reviewed the movie, was that it feels like the movie could end at just any scene abruptly. I mean, the movie just feels like a random collection of scenes just strung together to try to form a cohesive story. I mean, at any scene, I could just see the screen going black and then the credits roll. And it was a very peculiar feeling. Also, the film kind of sacrifices storytelling for more fighting and over-the-top violence. I mean, this is just one fascinating movie, and I really am digging the story, and then they just throw all this over-the-top, really hardcore violence that I really don't need to see in your face so they can try to entertain you a little bit more. But I'm entertained by the story. Show me more of that. I don't want to see this brutal violence. I mean, I saw more of that in the beginning of the movie. You don't have to keep bombarding me with it. I mean, these are just a few problems I had with it. But overall, Bronson is just a fascinating character study. Easily one of the best I've ever seen. And probably most disturbing. Dude was one messed up individual. I mean, you have every reason to hate this character. I mean, he is one despicable human being. But you end up liking him. Hell, I wanted to be him. Well, I can't say that sweet mustache didn't sweeten the deal a little bit. I mean, look at that thing. If you haven't checked out Bronson, I definitely recommend it. It is just a brilliant movie, though it does have some problems. So Bronson, really enjoyed it. Definitely think you should too. And that's my review of Bronson. I really hope you enjoyed it. So that's my review for this week. I will see you next Wednesday for another movie review. And until next time, you have an awesome, awesome week.